On today's Solo Saturday, we play Lisboa. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Lee with Geek City USA here, and today we are going to play this beautiful masterpiece of a game, Lisboa. Now this is by Lacerda, and art is done by Ian O'Toole. The art looks fantastic on this game. It seems to me very thematic, although I don't know a whole lot about Lisboa or modern day Lisbon. But the game itself is fantastic. And let me move this card off the board. Not sure why I still have that there. Anyway, we are set up here for a solo game. Now, the first thing that I'm going to tell you is I am not a strategy expert at Lisboa at all. I've had the game for a handful of weeks. I've played a handful of games. I've played the solo a couple of times. So definitely don't look to me for any kind of perfect solo strategy. Just understand that I love this game, and this is really one of my top games at the moment, and has been a long sought after grail game for me. Now, a few things that I've done, you'll notice I don't on this board have my player board, my portfolio. That's off on a different camera. I'll cut over to that just because I wanted the top down view. I tried to record this with using my handheld camera. Instead of using this one up here, I was using my other camera that's over here. But I felt that there was too much moving and shaking, and I'm just not that coordinated. I felt like there was more, hey, I'm on a boat than anything else. So I did this like this. You'll see here, I have Lacerda's people over here. He's got his two plans, also his stores and his state people, as well as his royal favor. And then here is my money, and these are my cards here. I left them out so that that way you guys could see it. Obviously, when I pick one, I'll hold it up and show you so you can see a little bit closer as to what it is. And when we get down around the board, you know, these will probably come off a little bit, but that's okay. And then on this other camera here, you will see that this is our portfolio. You'll see our different stores and stuff, as well as what we have, our starting blueprint. We have this as our starting clergy tile, and what this does is whenever a public building is built, whenever I build a public building, I get 2 extra wigs. So that's a pretty good one to start with. And then you'll see here that I start off with the minister's royal favor. And I think that's about it here. Now we have a limit to 2 of each good, as well as 2 cards at any time in our portfolio until we start storing up the rubble cubes, at which point we remove these and we're able to hold 1 more. But we'll cover that a little bit more as we get closer to that point. Now back over here to this board, I think we're ready to start here. Now, like I said, I don't have a perfect strategy for this. What I do like to do, however, typically is try to get as many goods as I possibly can early on. You need to build up the money because you can't build any businesses unless you have some money. I also like to get a boat as soon as possible because that helps me to obviously get that extra money and to ship off and sell goods. So to start off here, I'm looking at our cards, and I'm really not in love with what my options are here. Usually I like to put something in that will give me a good bump in my prestige. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to play this one right here. You'll see this is going to cost me 1 gold. Now, real quick, let me jump in to say these are, I believe, now feel free to correct me or don't. It says in the instructions how to pronounce them. I think it's one is a real in multiples at a time, or a race, or rice. You'll hear me, I'm just going to call them bucks or dollars just because that's what I do in any game. I don't really stick to the unit of measurement, if you will. It's just their bucks. So anyway, this one I'm going to play. I'm going to lose a buck, but it's going to let me gain some extra influence later on. So you'll see here, I'm going to put this into my portfolio. We'll slide this guy in right here. And right away, we are going to lose $1. So I'll chuck that back into the supply. But now I get to do 2 actions with the nobles, 2 of their state actions, up to, I should say, or I could ship a good. There's no ships yet, so I can't ship a good. So what I am going to do is, the first thing, I'm going to do this. I'm going to play a tool over here, and then I'm going to take 2 workers, two of my state employees, and now Lacerda starts here, and I want to make sure that Lacerda has to pay some influence. So I'm going to put one there, and then he's going to go here, so I'm going to put another one there. Now, Lacerda is purple, and then his helper is this little orangish red guy. Okay, so now that I did that, that was one thing that I did, and the other thing I'm going to do is right away, I'm going to build a ship or buy a ship. So I'll take this one right here. Now this is going to take me, you have to pay for it. It's 1 good. So I'm going to go ahead and put this into my portfolio here. Now let's pay the good right away. I'll just get rid of this, this linen here. And I'll load this in. Now the first thing that you do is you're going to raise up the economy because, hey, you're starting to ship stuff. The economy is booming, and that little icon right there means, and if you could see that, let me bring that a little bit closer. This little icon right here means that you activate or you score your influence. So this gets me 3 influence, as well as what else I have here is 2. So that's a total of 5 influence. So I will go from 4 to 9 on the influence track. Now, whenever you hit 10, you get a wig. Wigs are our victory points. I might call them points, I might call them wigs. We'll just have to see as the game goes on. But those are my 2 actions. Clear the board here, and we will go over to Lacerda. Now, the first thing that Lacerda does is Lacerda is going to move. So boom, he's at the worker. Now, he is going to pay his influence, at which point there are 2 that do not match his color. So he would usually have to pay 2 influence. But currently we're getting a -1, so he's only going to pay 1 influence, so he's down to 4. And he will pick one of these 2. Now it's all going to depend on where his helper is. If his helper's in these top 2, he'll take the top action. The bottom 2, he takes the bottom action. So you see the helper's at the top. So he's going to put 2 of his state guys out. Now the way this works is he's going to place these wherever he has the least amount of workers or state officials. So, and if there's ever a tie, you start from the far left. So 1 is going to go there to the master builder, and 1 is going to go here to the king. Now he's going to take the build action. Now, whenever Lacerda builds, he doesn't have to pay any money, and he's going to go to where he can get the most points the quickest. So we'll look here, and there's only 1 building built, 1 public building that will allow scoring, and that's going to require either a pink or brown to score. Now, you'll see right here, here's a 5, so the best place for him to go will be right here, because he will be able to score 5. Now he doesn't get any kind of bonuses or anything like that, so that's going to go there and there. And also when you take off, every time you build something, you're going to take off a rubble from where it scores. So typically you would have to pay based on the rubble. We'll cover that when I take my turn and I build something. But he is going to take off the lowest valued cube. Now the blue cubes cost $1. The reds are 2, and the earthy or clay colored are 3. And this is water damage, fire damage, and earthquake damage. And so he will take off the lowest price or lowest value cube. If there's ever a tie, he will take the one from the bottom of from the columns. So we'll take this, we'll put this in his collection, and then he can score. So we'll look here and we'll go across, and that's worth 5 wigs. So Lacerda is in the lead with 10, and we are already losing this game. Now the next thing that he will do is his helper will discard a card where he's at. So this is going to be removed from the game. I'm just going to toss it up there. We'll flip the next card, and then he will move over down to here. Now I have the opportunity to follow, but I currently do not have any royal favor tokens that let me go. So that's really it. Oh, and one thing that we forgot to do, and hold on, I can't believe we forgot this. We did not take our card here. So I did not draw my hand up. I only have 4 cards. So this would have been here to draw, and this would actually be the one that I would want to draw because it would allow me to get extra money if I sell off. Oh, that's just tools though. So I think we're okay there. Which would I have wanted to take? You know what I would have taken is I would have taken this one right here, because this one, I don't have any of his, so I wouldn't be able to visit him directly. So that's what I would have done. Anyway, so now that would have been before, so you know, we're working out the kinks here. All right, so now it is our turn to go, and we can play a card. We only have $9. We're not going to be able to build anything just yet. What do we want to do? We only have 1 good that really does anything for us. So what shall we do? I think, you know what, we're going to make ourselves some money. We are going to, we're going to use this card right here. So I'm going to play this card, and this is going to give us a bonus that allows us to pay 1 less for blue cubes. So basically blue is free. So I'll show this over to here. So this is going to go up under the bottom, and what this lets us do, we get the value, the current value for the for what the market's at here. So we will get $4. So I'll take a $5, get rid of a 1, and then because we took money out of the coffers, out of the treasury, we actually hurt the value of the treasury. So this is going to go down. So I'll slide this up into the bottom here. But again, if you recall, I can only have 2 cards in my portfolio. So I'm going to eliminate this one because obviously I want to hold on to my ship because I want to ship stuff. Now my next action, I can either visit one of the nobles over here or I can ship some goods, and I'm going to ship some goods. So we're going to go here. I'm going to ship off my gold. And if you look, gold is currently worth $6 and I have no modifiers, so I will just take my $6. Now, one cool thing to note here, once you fill up a ship, you flip this over, and whoever owns the ship is going to score that number of victory points. So in this case, I get 1 wig. So we're playing catch up, we're okay. Now at the beginning of my next turn, my ship comes back and I get to remove that so I can use that location again. Now I can draw up, and let's see, what kind of card do I want? I'm gonna grab this one here. Another treasury card. Why? I don't know. Because maybe I'll focus on picking up some linen, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I want to be able to do, I think, sponsor a project, and we'll get to that in a second. But anyway, that was our turn. Now we'll go back to Lacerda. Lacerda is going to move to here. And now because his helper's down here, he's going to take this bottom action, which really stinks. I really hate using the production early in the game, but when you play the solo variant and you're playing Lacerda, man, these goods lose value quick. So we're going to look here. What does he produce? He only has 1 shop, so it will produce the knowledge, which is this token here, this little brown one, and that will go into his collection. And unfortunately, as soon as you produce anything, the value of that goes down because you're producing it, and it's all about supply and demand. So now those are only going to be worth 4 going forward. And now he gets to take any 2 decrees, or not really any 2 decrees, but he gets to take a decree. And hold on, pause. First thing we skip doing is he did not pay his influence. So he is purple. There are 1, 2, 3, and there's no modifier, so he's going to have to pay 3 influence to take his action. Okay, anyway, back to this. We're going to get better at that, I promise. But back to this. We take the 2 bottom decree cards. Now, these are worth victory points at the end of the game, but for Lacerda, he only gets, and I say only, it's actually pretty good, he gets 3 for each decree that he has. So these are going to go into his collection, and the reason I say that, usually I would say it's only worth 3 because you can usually maximize your decree value, but the way that Lacerda keeps circling around and taking his prime minister actions, he ends up getting a lot of decree cards. So that's going to be probably a good 30 points that he's going to get by the end of the game. Now I have the opportunity that I can follow here, and I am going to do that. Now let me finish up his turn. Before I do that, we'll discard this card and flip this one over, and his helper will move down 1. But now I'm going to turn in my thing here so that I can follow him. And this is going to cost me 1, 2, because those are my colors, so I'll pay 2 influence. And now I am going to take a royal decree. And the reason I'm going to do that is because, like I said, Lacerda is going to get a ton of royal decrees on this game, and I have to do something to keep up to get some points. So what do I want to do? This one lets me get 1 wig for every project that I have, or for every plan rather. This one, for any building that I build in row D, I could get 2 wigs, but you see here, Lacerda's already got his building, so I'd at most be able to get 4, which would be worth 8, but I'm not in love with that option. This one gives me 2 wigs for anything built in pink. Oop, I never did refill this, but any 2 built in pink, and I like that because that helps me big time. And I'm just going to take this one. I don't need to look at the other ones. This is going to be what I take. 2 wigs. Oh, wait. Hold on. Pause. That's not for any building built pink. That's for any buildings that I build that are pink. Let me... Hold on now. Let's not get crazy. So this one, I get 5 wigs if I have the most or tied for the most tools. This is same thing if I have the most gold buildings, pink buildings. Yeah, maybe I will still take this. Let's focus on building some pink buildings. Put that right there for now. Now all this is going to scooch on down, and we will refill this. That one gives whoever takes that, or if I take that, I get a point for, or 1 wig for every building in A. That's 2 points for every building I build in A, and that's for if I have the most or equal to the most in C, I get 5 wigs. So now that was Lacerda's turn, and now it is my turn. So first thing, my ships come back so I can get rid of this, take this off my board, and let's figure out what we want to do here. We have no goods. We desperately need some goods. So I think that our goal is going to be to build some stuff, right? Yeah, because none of these cards are going to produce us any goods, and we have to be able to do something. So again, goods are key in this game. If you do not have goods, you really can't do anything. So actually, maybe instead of building, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to play this treasury card because the treasury value is low right now. So what I will do is I will play this into here. I'm going to sponsor a project. And in order to do that, you have to pay the current value of the treasury. So this will cost me $3. So I'll get rid, I'll throw them on the board. Rah! All right, and then what I get to do for doing that is I can take 2 of the fine linens. So I will take these 2 and I will put them over here on my player board. Now remember, because of this, I can only store 2 of any good type. So this is the only good type that I can score for or that I can hold. Blah, 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 blah. That's the most of those I'll be able to hold for a while. Now, I'll go ahead and I'll draw up. What do I want to draw? These let me put out a bunch of staties. This lets me either build or build a shop or open a public building. Boy, I don't know what I want here. I think I will take, I'm going to take this one. I want to build. So I'm going to take this card here, hang on to that, and we'll flip that. Now, typically, Lacerda would always follow if he has one of these matching tiles. But because I played a project, there is no following a project, so we are good, and that is our turn. Now we'll go over to Lacerda. Lacerda's going to go here, pay our influence. First thing we need to do, there's only one that's not his own color, so he will pay 1 influence. Now he's out of influence, so going forward, it's going to start costing him wigs, but you know, that's not a huge deal for him at this point in the game. So his helper's down here, so he's going to take a royal decree that he doesn't have, starting at the far left, so he will take this one. I call them royal decrees. I think they are royal favors. Yes? Yes. These are the decrees. These are the royal favors. But anyway, okay, so we've done that. Now he's going to open a public building. So these are the 2 public buildings. Now, he will usually take whatever he can immediately score. Now, you'll see this is gold and blue, and let me bring these a little bit closer so you can see these. And actually, I'll bring them over to my player board. So these are the 2 right here. So you'll see the green worker or the green architect is only gold, and the blue is gold and blue. So we don't have, or he doesn't have, any gold or blue buildings, so nothing is going to score for him. So what you do is you start over from row D and you go clockwise around until you find one that's open, which would be this one. Now, because it's tied, either one of these is going to score him no points. You look here and the worker's at the bottom, so we will take the blue one. So this goes here, and he is going to take these 2 blue cubes, put them in his little area, and that is going to be it. He's not going to score any points. Now, typically, you don't stack these all on the board. I just did for ease. Usually, you leave that open, you fill them back up so you can see what's coming next. Really doesn't matter to me what's coming next in a solo game. So, I mean, I guess it would. Actually, I have found myself working off that, but you know, whatever. So, okay, that was that. So he's going to discard this card because that's where his helper's at. This will flip over, and then we will move the helper, and it is on to our turn. Now, I definitely think that I want to build this turn. So which build do I want to do? Now, you'll see I'm going to pay a visit to the master builder, and I have 2 different cards. Now, this one, if I save it, I can get an influence later on. But I'm looking at the bonuses, and I like this one here. What this lets you do is after you play it, you get to take one of these extra rubble cubes if you slide it into your portfolio. Now, the reason that's good is because, again, you want to fill up your portfolio over here, because if you do, you solely are removing cubes to give yourself the ability to hold more cards and stuff. So I'm not going to play this one yet, and I'm going to play this one. So we're going to go here. And this will let us, first we'll pay our influence. So there's 2, that's not our color. There's no modifier, so I actually lose 2. And then we get to take one of the 2 state actions. Now, I'd love to put some more of my state guys out there to cause a little more influence pain to Lacerda, but I also could use some blueprints to build the buildings. No, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to take a couple of my guys, and I'm going to put them out. Lacerda's here, so he's going to be here next turn. So I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to put this one here just to make it that much more difficult for him to do anything. And then what I will do is I will build. Now let's see, where do we want to build? So one of these two, I want to score something. And remember, I have this decree, so if I have pink buildings, I get 2 extra victory points later. So I'm thinking that I'm going to see about building this building. I'm going to build a pink building. So we're going to put it here because I want to maximize my points. So put it here, that'll get me a royal favor. I don't have any at the moment. I'm going to take this one again because I want to take as many decrees as I can. Now let's look here. We always remove one rubble type, and I'm going to remove, I'm going to take this one. So you'll see there's a location for each of these. You know, you got the blue, the red, and the clay colored. I'm going to put that right there. And now we total up to see how much it's going to cost me to build this building. So it's going to cost me 2. Now remember, I have this over here, which means that I pay 1 less for water damage, which means they're free. So I'm actually going to pay 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's free again, plus a 3, so $10 for me to build a building. So here's my $10. And now I get to pick from over here one of my buildings. Now, these buildings are going to matter because as the game goes on, the more you build, you get better benefits. So here, you always build from the bottom up. Here, if I get up to here, that means I can pay money instead of influence when I'm visiting a noble. This here means that when I build a ship, I pay 1 less good to either purchase or upgrade it. And because you pay goods based on the hull size. And this one here means I don't pay at all if I build a ship. And this here, if I produce, I get to produce 1 extra of any one good that I produce. And up here, I produce multiple goods, 1 extra of every one of them. So that's the route I want to go because I want to try to produce extra goods. So I'm going to take from here, set that there, and that will immediately score because if you see here, that's pink, and I will get 4 points. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I will go ahead and draw up. What card do I want? I think we're going to take this one because this lets us get a good, and I'm still concerned about getting enough goods. So we'll flip that guy over. Again, I don't know the perfect strategy. I'm just doing what I like to do. And now the rules state that Lacerda will always follow. And you look here, and I visited this guy, so he has that noble tile, so he will follow. And the first thing he has to do is pay the influence. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. No modifier. So he's actually going to lose 3 points. 1, 2, 3. And then he will take any one action, and Lacerda always takes the main action. So let's go back over to here, and he is going to build what gets him the most points the quickest. Now, he can't build pink because I built the pink building that refills after the turn. So he can build, let's see, a blue will get him 4. Ooh, the blue here will get him 5. He can face it that way. So, or that would be brown. So if you ever have a choice between that's tied, oh, but you know what? The brown's not going to score. That's just gold. So yes, he will build a blue building. So that will go there. We'll put one of his shops there, and he will immediately score 5 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll get rid of this. That is the end of our turn. And now we turn over to Lacerda. All right, I didn't realize my memory card for my overhead camera was just about full. So good thing I looked up. But it is Lacerda's turn. And let's refill these really quick. And now we can go on to Lacerda. Now Lacerda is going to move here. And he will have to pay 1, 2, 3. So 3 influence, which is going to hurt him. 1, 2, 3. Yes. And then he will take the top action. So he will place 2 of his state meeples where he has the least, and they'll start from the left. And see, this is no good because he will push my guy out here into the plaza, or the lobby, if you will. One thing about Lacerda's workers is you can never boot them out. Neither, same thing with the the Space Keeper. You start off with these guys, the helper ones. When you play a two-player game, you do the same thing, and that just helps to kind of make it a little more interesting because it's, you know, they're in your way. So okay, anyway, we did that. He took that. Now he gets to build, and he will build yet again. He's going to build where it's going to get to him the most points. So we'll look here in pink, that would get him 3. Brown would get him 3. If we look here, gold can get him 3 or 4, or blue can get him 4. Now, whenever you figure out if you have a tie for the same, it always starts from the top left corner. So he's going to build the gold one right here. So we'll take this, that will go there, and we'll place this house on it, his little shop, and that will score him 4 victory points. That easy. So you'll go from 9 to 13. And he will also take, did we not do that last time? I believe we missed that last time. He did not take a cube from this row. Aha. So he would have taken the lowest priced one from either side, which would have been this one, and put that in his supply there. Right? Is that right? 1, 2, 3? Or did he? Hold on, let me think this through. So I think he would have taken this one, because this one we placed first. I'm going to believe that we take this red. I'm going to go with it. If it's not correct, I'm sorry. It's not going to impact the game that much, I promise. Anyway, so we scored him. We're good there, 4 points. And now let's look over here. I can follow, but if you look over here again, I do not have the appropriate favor tile to follow. So that is the end of his turn. He will discard this card. Let's flip that, and then his helper moves to here. And then it is our turn. So let's look at what we have going on here. I think we don't have the money to build any shops. Of course, we could do a public building. That we'd have to pay $3 for. But that's not too... Wait a minute. No, never mind. I take that back. We don't pay money for a public building. I always want to buy the land, but I don't need to. Yeah, we could do a public building, and if we do it smart, we could do brown. That would score us some points. That would score us 5 points if we build that. But do I have a blue architect, but it would cost me 3 state officials. But if I did that, that would cost me only 1 influence. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So again, for better or for worse, let's play this card into here. We will go visit the king. It will cost us actually 2 influence because we don't have any guys there, which is, that's okay. We get to pick one of these actions first. And I think that, what do we have going on here? So I get to move 1 or 2 steps on the clergy track. So let's look here at what these different clergy tiles do. So in case you're not familiar with Lisboa, every player gets this awesome player guide that breaks down what each of their actions are. And these are pretty easy to get under control, but where it becomes really helpful is when you have this list of all of the clergy tiles and what their benefit is. Same thing with the decree cards and also some icons. So if we look here at these clergy tiles, this one right here that we could get, number 9, if we look there, I believe it's anytime we remove a cube, we can instead discard it and we get 2 wigs. Let me just verify. Yes, whenever you receive rubble, you may discard 1 and only 1 to earn 2 wigs. This one here, number 12, whenever you play a king card to the royal court, you get $2. And finally, this one here, whenever you, does this follow? Yeah, whenever you visit or follow the master builder, it costs you 2 less influence. So that's actually not bad. So let's think about this. Or do I want to just take a favor tile so I can follow again later? No, I think I want some of these. I'm going to go, do I want the wigs, or I would rather collect them. So I'm not interested in this tile. I'm going to move this guy twice. And then I will take this. And this, again, anytime I visit or follow to pay an action to the king, I gain $2. Or rather, not follow, but just when I play a card. And I will put that over here in my portfolio. So you see now you only have space for 4 clergy tiles, and you can never get rid of those, or you can't replace them once they're full until if you follow over to here, when the cardinal crosses or lands on this spot, you actually do influence. We'll cover that when we get there. So now I did that. Now we'll look here. I want to build a building, or rather open a public building, and I only have a blue set of plans here, my player board. So I will take this one right here, and this lets me score brown or gold, or brown and gold if I park it over here. So I'm going to place it right here, and right away that I get is a knowledge. So I will take that and I'll put it over here into my portfolio, and then I get these 2 bricks as well. So I'll put a blue one here and that one there. And you look now, I'm 1 away from opening up a 3rd card slot on my portfolio, which will be very helpful. This is going to cost me 3 state officials. So I will take 1, and then I will take 2, and I will take 3. And these guys go back into my supply over here. And then I would flip this over because I've used those plans. And now I could score. So this is worth, I only have 1 brown shop, but it's worth 5 points. So I will take it. So I go up to 15. Now Lacerda can follow because I took this action, and he can follow. So he will turn that in, and it will cost him 1 influence because he has 1 there. So he will lose, 1 point. Was he at 13 or 12? I just flipped it. I think he goes down to 12. And then he will choose to build whatever scores him the most immediate points, which we have gold. If he places a gold here, that would score him 4 points. If he places over here, that would score him the same amount. Ooh, this one actually, this will be the one for him to play, because this lets him score both gold and blue. So he will place this right here, thus collecting these 2 cubes, which these cubes give him points in between the rounds. And then he will score all gold and blue buildings, which are right here. He has a blue one that's worth 5 and a gold one that's worth 4. So that will get him 9 points. So he will go from 12 to 21. And that was a quick jump of points. All right, so I can refill this here. Now I need to draw up. That will end Lacerda, his follow action. And I get to draw up, and I am going to take a king card because I do not have any in case I want to build another public building. Now public buildings, excuse me, are great because that's what gets you points. But again, that also gets Lacerda points. So, you know, it's a risk-reward kind of thing. All right, let's take Lacerda's turn. Lacerda's going to go over to here. He's going to visit the minister guy, and he will take the top action, so he's going to take a ship right away. So I will place that right here. Now, we can use his ship, which is good for him, kind of helpful for us, sort of. Because he takes a ship, the treasury goes up 1, and he's going to activate and gain influence, but he also gains our influence. So he gains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he will go from 0 to 5 on the influence track. And, oh, pause. We actually, before he gains that, he will have to do the influence here. So 1, 2, 3, so he will lose 3 points, 2, 3. Then this goes up, then he gains his 5 influence. So we got to make sure we do that in the right order. Now he's done that action, he gets to take 2 decrees, so he just takes the bottom 2 decrees here, puts them in his portfolio. These are going to slide down, but let's look, see, do I have the ability to follow? I do. So let's finish his turn before we refill that. This will get discarded. That will get revealed. This helper's going to come down here, and then it would become my turn, but I can follow, and I'm going to turn this in so that I may follow. And let's see, what do I want? All buildings on A. That could get me up to 4 points. If I have the most pink, I've got 1. If I have the most gold, he has 1. I don't want to worry about collecting resources. I think that I will take, I'm going to take this one for 2 points for every building that I have in A. Because I would, as long as I build 2, I get more than what I'll ever possibly be able to get with that one. So I'll put that there, and then everything is going to slide down. Oh, by the way, I do need to pay influence, which my influence to visit this guy would be 1, 2, 3, minus 1, so 2. So I would pay 2 influence. And we can refill these. Now on to my turn. So what are we going to do here now? So Lacerda's looking pretty good. I'm feeling like we need money. We don't have any money. We could sell some goods on the ship because we got some stuff over here. If you look, we have a couple of silks, fine silks, and a toast. And by toast, I mean books. But I don't know if that's what we want to do. Yes, I know what we're going to do. We are going to take this card right here. We're going to play this into our portfolio because this will allow us to open up a third spot. So I'm going to play this here, and I immediately get to take a cube, and let me discard this one because I only have the ability to hold 2. So that gets discarded, but I could take a cube from this stack right here, and I will take a red one, and I will play it right into there, and now I can remove this cube, and I officially now can hold 3 of every resource or have 3 cards. Now this cube is going to go here with the minister, prime minister. I always call him the prime minister. I think that's what he is. But anyway, and then with him, yeah, the minister. And then with him, if I ever play a card going forward, I can use this cube, and that lets me take an additional royal decree card. All right, so that's the end of my turn. Now, what do I want to draw up with? I want to take this. This will help me get some extra money here. So we'll refill this, and that is the last treasury card right there. Now, Lacerda can follow, but has no ability to do so, so that will end my turn. Lacerda's going to move here. He's going to pay the influence, 1 minus 1, so that's 0 influence. And he will take the bottom action, so he will take this favor token. Let me put it over here so that way it's easier to grab later. And then he's going to build a public building. And again, he's going to build the one that affords him the most points. So we have a blue and a brown, which will score him either 4 points if I build it here. It would score for blue and blue only. No, actually that would score him 5 points. Or he could place it here as brown, and that would score him 5 points as well. Or we could do a gold, and that would score him 4 points. So he's going to take this one. Oh, we can't place it there, right? So this is going to have to go right, oops, just through that. Right, if I place it here, he could score 5 points. But you go from clockwise order if it's a tie, so he's going to place it here. So we'll get 2 more cubes. Again, it's bad for me. And we'll go down here, and he will score 5 points. 18, 21, 2, 2, 3. And I have the ability to follow, but I have no way to do so. So that will end his turn. So this is going to get discarded. Place that up there. Flip a new card. We will go there. Now we are actually quite close to the end of the age because we only have 1 of each of these cards. But let's see what happens. All right, now I want to make some money. So I'm going to take this card right here. I'm going to slide it up. Now this is going to allow me to take what the treasury is worth, which is $4. So I'll take a 5, turn in $1. I drop the value of that, and now this means anytime I have to pay money, I pay $1 less, or one real less. And now I either have to interact with the nobles here, or I can sell off some stuff. I have 2 linens, so I can do 2 actions here, or 1 action here. There's no more ships to be had. I don't want to produce because I only have 1 building. Or do I want to make some money? I think I want to make some money. Yeah. Yes, I want to make some money. So I'm going to ship some stuff. And we will ship off one of my linens here. I'll flip it immediately because that boat will be full. But it's going to give me $5. So here's my $5, and that goes there. That's also going to get me 1 wig. And now I just realized I built a public building earlier. And I did not give myself my 2 extra wigs. But I also believe, did I give myself the points for this? I may have. I'll have to go back and look. So check the notes below. If we have to adjust my score, I will do it. I can't remember. I usually play with purple, but I wanted to do something that stood out a little different. So I went with green this time around for me. So bear with me if I goof that one up. Sorry about that. Right, now I need to draw up, and I want to take this so I can maybe get some more goods later and sponsor a project. And there's none left here. And let's see, will Lacerda follow? Lacerda cannot follow because I played a card to my portfolio. So we are good. We go on to Lacerda's turn. Lacerda's going to go here. Let's pay our influence. He will pay 1. So that's a straight up 1. And then he will take this bottom action. So he will take the one that has the most points here, taking the plan, or the one that costs the most workers. But these are both the same, so his guy's down here, so he'll take the bottom one, and we'll just put that right there. And now he could take the build action, and he once again gets to build where he can make the most points. So, let's see, the row of 5 is going to be his best bet. And he could build either brown or blue, but when brown is, or actually let's think, is there anywhere he could double dip? Yes, he could build right here and double dip, because we have a blue there, a blue there, and a blue there. That's a triple dip. So he's going to take this. This stinks for me. And he will play that right there. Put his little house on it. And he is going to gain 12 points for that because it scores 3 times. So 1, 2, 35. And here is where we are going to lose the game miserably. I believe we did something poorly. And we're going to remove the cheapest cube there. Now he will eliminate this card here. And his helper will move up 1. All right, guys. So we need to kick it into gear just a little bit here. What do we want to do? We're okay on goods a little bit. I need to do some building. I've got 15 bucks. I absolutely need to put some houses out here. And I would love to build in this A range. And I would love to double dip points if I could. I could build a gold house right here. And let's refill this because I didn't. If I build a gold here, I'll be able to score it twice. That would give me 6 points. Or I could do a brown here for 6 points, which doesn't sound quite as exciting. Well, what do I want more of? If I'm here, I get 2 state officials. If I'm here, I get a royal decree. I want a royal decree. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. So we are going to visit the noble, visit the master builder. It's going to cost us, well, we don't have anybody here, so it's going to cost us 3 influence. Ooh, ouch. Well, 1, 2, 3. That's not the way we wanted to do that. But that's the way we did it. That's going to be the way we did it. It'll work out for us, I think. Probably not, but all right. So I could either take a plan or place 2 state officials. And I'm going to place 2 state officials. Now, Lacerda's going to go here next, but I can't bump him out at all. So I'll place 1 here, and I will place 1 here. And then I'm going to go ahead and build, and we are going to take the gold tile here, plunk that down. That's going to give me a royal decree. So let's take a royal decree first. Here's another A. What's up here? For every pink, I only have 1. For every east property or public building, I would get a wig. If I have the most influence, ooh, that might not be a bad one because Lacerda goes through his influence quicker. I'm going to take this, I think. Yes. So we will place this right down here. Yeah, we can move these down. Well, I'll refill them at the end of the round. And then we could place our building. So I'll place our shop there. We get to take a cube, which I'm going to take the most expensive cube, but I'm going to take it from over here because Lacerda always takes from the bottom. Which, do I want to do that or do I want to work towards filling? Yeah, I want to go for cheap. I want to save some money here. And then, so that's going to cost us 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, minus 1. So 8. So here's 10. And I get 2 back. And let's score that. I score the 2, so I get 6 points. So 22. And now Lacerda may follow, and wouldn't you know it, of course, he has the master builder. So he will follow, and he will pay 1, 2 influence. And he will build as well. Now, let's see. He could build here for 3 points. He can build here for 3. Actually, he could build here for 6 points. He can build a blue, not there. Brown, yeah, so this is going to be where he gets the most intersections. So he's going to build a brown one, right? Yeah, brown one right here. Because you see he scores there, he scores there. So we'll place his house. And he is going to get 6 points. 1, 2, 3, all the way down here, 4, 5, 6. And he's going to get rid of the cheapest rubble, which will be this one here. And I feel like I'm getting massacred here. When I played this, I played it, I think solo yesterday or the day before. I did quite well, I thought. But yeah, we'll see. I don't think I'm doing quite as well here this time. So we can get rid of this card. That was his follow action, and now it is Lacerda's turn. Lacerda's going to move here, pay the influence. 1, 2, 3. So he's going to go 1, 2, and lose a wig. I'd love him to lose 27 wigs right about now. And then he will do the top action, build a ship. There's no ship to build, so if he can't do it, he doesn't. And now he's going to take 2 decrees. Oh, and this fills here. So these 2 decrees are his. That's another 6 points for him at the end of the game. I don't have the favor tile to follow. So we're going to get rid of these. All right. So he will discard this card. And now his helper skips any row that there's no card. So he's going to come right back down to here. We can flip this. Oh, you know what we never did is we did not draw up our last turn. Now I would have taken this card here because I was out of builder cards. So he would actually be there. So yeah, when I play solo, there's a lot more to keep track of. And like I said before, whenever you talk through it, it makes it more difficult because, you know, trying to explain as I go. So, okay, so it's our turn. We only have 5, 6, 7 bucks. Although this will be a little bit easier to build. But I don't think we're there yet. I think maybe... No, we need to play an action because I need to get some state officials on the board. So yeah, let's do that. So first I'm going to take this. We're going to play this card into our portfolio. And see right here, we're going to play this card into our portfolio. It's going to let us take any cube we want. I'm going to take, once again, I'm going to take a blue cube. Just because Lacerda keeps taking all the blue cubes because they're the cheapest ones. I have to get rid of a card. I'm going to get rid of this one. It does us absolutely no good because it's only worth 0 influence at this point in the game. So we're good there. Now I have to do 2 actions here on this board. And you know what? I didn't plan that right because I don't have the resources with which to visit the right person. Let's see how we can better this. So I will do this. I'm going to produce, and producing will give me 1 gold and 1 linen. So I'll take a gold and a linen. So I'll place a linen here and a gold here. And because of what? Because of this, I get to produce 1 more. So I'm going to produce another gold. And gold, knock this all around. Gold and linen are going to fall in price. But you know what? We don't care because now I have the gold that I wanted. So I'm going to take this gold that I just generated, place it there to place 2 state officials. Yeah. Let me make sure that's what I want to do. 2 state officials, or do I want... This lets me 1 less... Thinking aloud here. So this one here, whenever I visit them, I pay 1 less influence. But I think I want to get my state officials in while I still can. So I'm going to put this one here. And that one there. And that's those are my actions for this turn. So I'll get rid of these. And I can draw up. At which point, boy, pickings are slim, huh? I want this one because it's got a royal decree at the bottom of it. And this is going to be it. This next turn is... My next turn will be the end of this age here. So let's go through here now. Lacerda is going to move here. He's going to pay the influence of 1, 2, minus 0. So he's actually going to lose 1 and 2. And he will do the bottom action here. So he is once again going to be able to follow me when I build. Place that here. And he's going to build a public building. Hey, this is where he's going to score a ton of points again. So he's got a gold one. If he builds that, he will score 4 points. This is a blue or a pink, which he really can't play. Oh, he could place a pink here, but I would score the points. Blue, no good. No good. So the gold I guess would make the most sense. He would score 4 points. I would score 3. So he would have a gain of 1. Let me just make sure that I'm not missing anything. If he scores the pink, that would only help me. So yeah, I guess the gain of 1 is going to be the best at this point. So he's going to take this up here. He's going to gain these 2 bricks. That's going to kill us in the points. And I will score 3 points. 1, 2, 3. He's going to score 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, ugh. And I don't have any way of following. But, you know, hey, we'll see what happens. So his guy's going to get rid of this card. Flip that and move up here. And now this is officially going to be the last turn of this age. By age, I mean period. What are we going to do? I feel like while this is low, I want to produce some stuff. I'm going to play this here. Sponsor project is going to cost us $3. Turn in this fiver, get 2 back. That's going to give us 2 gold resources. Now I already have 1. I'm able to hold up to 3. Right? That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. That might not be what I want to do, because I will get more points if I open up more areas on my board here. But that will cost me victory points because I don't have, it would cost me 2 victory points to gain, it'd be a net gain of 1. I like what I did. That's what I did. I'm going to stick to it. And then I'm going to take, just because of the in-between round benefit, I'm going to take this. And now Lacerda cannot follow because it was a sponsored project. So now we go to the end of period. So one thing we get to do at the end of period is I can discard any cards and I get the bonus at the bottom. Now, here's generally when I play, I like to get new cards out of the new deck because they're usually worth a little bit more. There's more stuff on them. And plus, I'm not really in love with the cards. I don't have a huge plan. Usually when I play other people, I might keep 1 or 2 of these to plan, but I don't really have a need to do that right now. So I'm going to get rid of all of my cards here, but then you get to take the action of the bottom, 1 for each that you get rid of. So I'll be able to take a tool from this guy. So, or not a tool, but a knowledge. So I'll add that to my board. And then this one will get me nothing. This guy gets to take a royal decree. I'm going to take, this is for every blue building that's built, 1, 2, 3. This one's going to be pretty good. So I'm going to take this one right here. Put that into my area. And then we can refill that. And let's do our between scoring. I get 3 points for having those rubble cubes there. So 1, 2, 3. And then Lacerda is going to get 1 wig for each rubble cube he has, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 42, 45, 55. And that is the end of the first period. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set up for the second period.